And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. Friday, May 28th today,
wow,
right?
The last Friday of the month.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Wow.
almost into June. Can you believe it? I mean, Monday will be June 1st.
Where has the year gone?
Yeah, I know. Well, the last 2.5 months have been either the longest
Wow.
2.5 months or the shortest 2.5 months. I haven't quite
Yes.
figured that out yet.
I know.
But why don't you turn over
Yes.
our sand here?
It
and get
didn't
started?
really help us yesterday. We didn't stay on track too good.
Well, it will help me a little
But
bit because
today
I was
it will.
watching it and I was like going, we're going
You're like,
over.
we
we're
gotta go.
definitely heading over at this point. So, well, that was a pretty cool photo we had up there.
Yes. That was Dennis Miller playing the dulcimer in the Glen Eagles balcony.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Don't you like that name, Dulcimer?
Dulcimer.
And there's something about that name. It's
I
just kind
know.
of, I like to say it, you know.
Yes.
It's
Maybe
almost
you
like
do
saying,
a program.
you know, Amy likes to talk about Chakawinity, you know, down near the
She
beach, I guess.
does. She does. That is her word.
Dulcimer, Chakawinity. I mean, they're
Yeah.
kind of cool words to
Yep.
say, you know.
Elegant.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we do have special guests.
We do.
But we're going to bring them out a little later.
That's right. We're going to still
we'll
keep it a secret.
keep a little suspense.
Yes,
With that.
yes.
So, but our trivia question today is a fun one, and we're going to really challenge you today, right?
Yes. And this is a first.
This is a first,
Okay.
right?
The trivia question is from us.
Yes, from Lisa and Tom. We want to see how good you all are, right?
Okay.
And we're going to do the prizes a little different today, right?
We are. Yes. We're going to have two winners.
We're going to have two winners. So the first one that gets the correct answer obviously will win.
Yeah.
But the fun part comes with the second person because you've got to time it just right after the first one to get Michelle. And that could be meaning
That's
calling
tricky.
at different times.
Yes.
It's tricky. It's not like the first person that gets through.
Exactly.
So we're going to do two winners.
Two
We
winners.
thought we'd just mix it up a little bit today.
Yes.
And that's because we both came up with a question today, right?
Right. And it's
We
a two-parter.
It's a two-part question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we go. All right.
And this one you can't look up online.
Well,
Right?
probably not.
I mean, I don't think you can.
Well, we'll see.
So hopefully you know Tom and I a little bit to be able to answer this, right?
Well, if not, you're not going to be able to answer the question.
That's true. Okay. So two parts. What state did Tom and Lisa, were they born and raised in? What state were we born and raised in? So it's two different states. That's why we call it a two-parter.
Right.
And Tom's one and I'm one. So what states were
Born
we
and raised.
born and raised in?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, two winners today.
Okay.
And you have to have both of them for both of us.
You have to have both states.
Yes, you have to have both states.
Yeah.
But two winners. So
Okay,
two
let's see
people.
how well they know us, Lisa.
Okay,
There might not be any winners today.
Michelle is ready for the calls.
She is.
Okay, 336-389-4103. 336-389-4103.
Now remember, it's two winners. So even she
Right.
just ran out of the room.
She did run out of
so
here very
if
quick.
she's got a winner, then the next person that calls after that wins, that gets through,
Right.
is the second winner.
And the tricky part is getting through because you're all calling at the same time,
But
and
it's-
she can only take one call
But
at
it's
a time.
two chances
Two
today.
chances.
Two chances today.
Two chances.
Okay. All right. So let's get into coronavirus.
Yes.
I think I decided I'll start first because obviously there's a lot to talk about today.
Right.
I'll start first with the statistics. Let's just go
Okay.
ahead and do those, and then I'll get into what's happening here at River Landing because I know a lot of you, some of you may not have even heard, some of you may have heard, so we'll get into that in a couple minutes. But let's go through the state statistics first. Wow, we had some changes in the state statistics, some big changes in the state statistics today. So again, this is coming from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. But Lisa, they did, between yesterday and today, they have done 16,039 tests.
Wow.
That's a lot of tests. That's a lot of tests. Of that 16,039 increase, there is 1,076 new cases. So that's about 6.7%, which is right around that 7%, 6.87% that we've been seeing. And total, 391,000 completed cases, little over 26,000 confirmed positive cases for, again, that same percentage, about 6.8. So it's just roughly about the same thing. Unfortunately, we had 32 more deaths in the state yesterday. So we're up to 859. The good news, I think, a little bit is the hospitalizations dropped a little bit. It went from 708 yesterday to 680 today. So love to see that number go down. We'll see how that goes. And then within the individual counties, Mecklenburg went up 232 cases. They're at 3,837 cases. Wake is at 1,613. That's about 50 more. Durham's at 1,441 cases. That's 30 more. Guilford County went up 58 cases. We're at 1,195 here in Guilford. And Forsyth went up 98 cases, and they're at 1,179. So really, Forsyth and Guilford now are about even in number of cases in our area here. And then just going over the section that covers nursing homes and residential care facilities, there's been a total of 3,934 positive cases. That's about 15% of the total positive cases in the state. And then our deaths are still at 500. Our deaths are at 520 between nursing homes and residential care facilities. Again, that's right around that 60% of the 859 total deaths. So that's been running pretty straight. The 15% and the 60% have been pretty consistent. And then we have had 3 more communities that have, or 3 more nursing homes / retirement communities who have been added to the list as of today. We have 126 in total. So that is the state statistics today. But Lisa, I think most of our residents probably know now. If they don't, you have a letter in your box today from me. The unfortunate has happened. We have had our first positive case here at River Landing. It's a healthcare dining employee who let us know that they have tested positive for COVID-19. The employee has not worked in a week here, so we took that as a good sign because we haven't had anybody else that has shown any kind of symptoms or has complained of anything that would resemble being positive to COVID-19. So we have a protocol set up for that kind of stuff, and so we put our protocols into place. We immediately did some tracing of that employee. The good news is it's a healthcare dining employee. So right now most of our healthcare dining staff are not really working directly with residents. Right. So if there's a blessing in this, it is that the residents really weren't in a position to be exposed to this employee. And so, but we do have about a dozen staff members that we identified that have had contact with this employee back when they worked a week ago. So we did have them tested today, and we're waiting now for the results of that test. Our medical director, Dr. Piazza, and working with the Guilford County Health Department are helping us through this process at this point. I do want to reassure everybody, when we talked to the Guilford County Health Department, they were very pleased with our infection control procedures. They were really happy to hear, 1, that the employee hasn't worked in a week, and 2, that that employee, as all of our employees are, was wearing a mask as well. They think our chances are low for incidents for transmission, but we just never know. Right. So we're going to test these 12 employees, and then when we get information about that, we will let you know. I really am kind of hoping that we're going to get that information today. And if we do get that information, we will share that on CareMerge and share that. And I've had a couple people kind of suggest to me, well, what is the next steps? Well, so let me just kind of go through that real quick. So if all 12 employees come back and their tests are negative, which means they don't have COVID-19, then we feel pretty comfortable that it's contained to this just one employee. If another employee or more come back positive, then obviously we now then need to take those employees and trace who they've been in contact with, and we'll be doing a lot more testing at that point. So, just a matter now of just doing testing to see where we are in regards to that. But, Lisa, I was sharing with you a little earlier, this has been a crazy 24 hours. Let me tell you all, in the last 24 hours, 4 of the 5 PHI communities, Presbyterian Homes communities, have had a case. So Friends Homes Guilford, Friends Homes West, Scotia Village, and River Landing all had a case in the last 24 hours.
Yep.
So that is really, really weird and unusual. In all the cases, and Glen Eyre had one last week. So,
right.
And so all the PHI communities now have had at least one case at this point. But in all the cases, it has been staff only, and at the moment, no residents have been infected, which again, I think says a lot for our infection control that we're doing throughout our organization. And you all know this. We've been really pushing the masks, and not just for the staff, for residents as well, because we know how important it is to create those barriers for you and for us. And so, that washing your hands and staying 6 feet away is what's going to really save us. And so yes. So are we? Obviously we're not happy about the fact that we have a positive case, but I tell you, I'm just going to share this with you. The last couple of weeks, it has been, and I don't know if this is the Lord that's been putting this on my heart or not, but I have just kind of come to the conclusion that they're really, when you think about the fact that we have 365 staff members here, and that their sphere of influence, as they deal with family members and are out and about, and even just our residents that are out and about, I don't see how it would be possible for us to have ridden this whole way through this and not had a case.
Right.
So,
right.
So now we really, I've been kind of working now towards the fact of it wasn't a matter of if, it was more a matter of when. And the funny part was I was even been talking about this the last couple of days.
Right,
I just had this feeling we were getting close to having that happen, and sure enough, it did. Maybe I jinxed us by doing it, I don't know. But the important part now is, to recognize when we have one, try and identify it early, see who had the tracers to figure out who that person has been coming in contact with, whether it be resident or staff member, and do our best to compartmentalize it as best we can. And really, that was another thing. I think because we have done such a good job compartmentalizing all of our team here and our residents, I think in this particular case, compartmentalizing it in the healthcare center for our staff, just doesn't give that opportunity for it to go out of one unit into another, or out of a household into another, because we really have been trying to compartmentalize our teams. So we will let you know about that. We will let you know the results of the 12 that were tested, but we wanted to make sure, we've always said that we would be very transparent and upfront about any cases that we have, and we have had our first one. Interesting enough, I think the other communities that have had it have been a couple that have been dining employees. I thought that was kind of interesting too. I think in another community it was a healthcare dining employee, and in another community it was an independent living dining employee. So I think it was a dishwasher. So, and I don't know much about what's going on in the other communities. Quite honestly, we got enough going on here not to worry so much about what's going on with the other communities. But I just, I want to reassure you all as residents that, we're on this. We're going to persevere through this, and we've been set up for this. We've been ready for this to happen, and now it's happened. So we're responding to it, and our protocols are in place. We've got the right people helping us make decisions with our medical director and with the Guilford County Health Department. So we'll just keep attacking it at this point. Okay. I think that's about all I'm going to say about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, okay. So I've already mentioned all that. I had mentioned about the other communities, and one of the things I haven't mentioned to residents here is that we are actually having a change in leadership at one of our retirement communities, the Presbyterian Homes retirement communities. Glen Eyre's executive director, Paul Gregg, had put in his resignation a few weeks back, and actually next Friday, June 5th, will be his last day. And so a lot of you may know Hank Lovern, who is our VP of Operations at our corporate office, he has named himself the interim director for Glen Eyre until they can find a replacement. And I've been kidding him a little bit about that. I was telling him, I said, he just can't stand it. He was an executive director before. He's got to get back in. He's got to have that feel again of what it's like to be executive director of the community. And so he's going to fill in until they find somebody else. But they've started a search process for that. And we wish Paul well. A lot of you may not know this, but Paul's a good friend of mine. And when we go to conferences together, we end up usually rooming in the same room together. And he's a good guy. So I wish the best for Paul. And I know he'll do well. So, but anyway, I just want to make sure we had shared that with you all. Lisa, it's just surprising to me. We had this long session yesterday about the dining, and we had absolutely no questions came from anybody.
None.
I don't think. Not one single question, right? Isn't that right?
We know that's not the case, Tom. So it's been very busy this morning.
Has it?
I did say call or email before noon.
Yes.
So it was very busy this morning.
Yes.
So I have a few questions that most of we can go through pretty quick here. So just some clarifications and.
Actually, I was as you know, I was kidding, but really, I think it's great because I started looking at some of the questions, and these are good questions.
Yep.
These are questions that would be naturally come up because of our conversation yesterday.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and start attacking.
Okay, first one. Please clarify, will we need reservations anytime we eat in the water's edge of the clubhouse? That's a pretty easy one. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. During this phase, this is how it is. Reservations anytime.
Now, we can tell you this. I don't have a problem telling you this. If it's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon and you want to go eat in the water's edge and you call them up and say, is there anybody in there? Can I come eat? And they say, come on, we can take you on. Then come on in.
Sure.
And that's your
still
basic store calling ahead.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes.
Can I just order a vegetable plate in the water's edge for dine-in or takeout?
Can they order a vegetable plate, Lisa?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
So we have several side items, and they did also ask what are the costs for those, and they're $1 a piece for the sides. So you could have 2, 3 vegetables, 4 vegetables, but you can order them just as an a la carte item.
Right.
And you can pick that up, call it in, pick it up, or you can dine in and just order the sides.
There you go.
Yeah, very flexible.
Yeah.
How many people can sit at a table in the water's edge or the clubhouse?
We talked about this yesterday.
We did. It was a little confusing, so
it probably
that.
Still will be.
I get that. I think a lot of folks are going to bring a buddy, but there might be some folks that just want to come alone.
Yeah.
So we're saying 1 to 4 people at a table.
There you
go. We have a lot of tables set up with 2 chairs. So if you're a single person, you'll be at one of those tables.
Right.
If you come and bring a buddy, you still might be at a 2-top. But if you have 3 people, we'll have you at a 4-top.
Right.
And 4 people, of course, we'll have you at the 4-top. So we have variety of seating in there for you.
Right.
And you'll see that first day that you come in. It's set up so 1 to 4 people.
And you're choosing who you have eat with.
Right.
We're not doing that for
We're
you.
not
I think
doing
we made that clear yesterday, but we're not seating you with other people
Right.
on our own.
Right.
If you come and you make a reservation for a group of 4 because it's 2 couples coming in and you want to sit together,
Yep, then that's your choice.
Great. That's your choice.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
We always have been able to get baked chicken or fish. Can we still get that in the water's edge in the bistro? Yes, that will still be available. That's one of those always available items that we don't really have listed anywhere, I don't think, but that's always available. So the baked chicken and baked fish, great options.
Right.
Is the hot bar gone for good?
Yes. No, I'm
Tom,
sorry. It's no,
it's not gone for good.
It's not gone for good.
People are going to think I lied today. I had to field that question a lot.
Yes.
That was a popular one.
Yes.
So,
it's not gone for good.
Just temporarily for right now, as we're going back into the a la carte items. So when it comes back, it'll be better than ever, maybe.
That's the hope, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. If they want it that badly, then maybe it's all right the way it is. So there you go. But no, it's just temporarily suspended while we've got the COVID-19 stuff going on.
Absolutely.
And we will bring that back.
We don't want folks using tongs and all that kind of stuff. So the salad bar and the hot bar area, for right now during this phase. It's just not, it would not be good for us to open up a buffet like that.
That's correct.
Okay, can my family drop off items if I live in a cottage?
Yes, but not at your cottage.
That would be correct. There's no exceptions right now because, as we've said before, the visitation part has not changed.
Yeah.
So any family drop-offs, as of June 1st, they're being directed to the front desk, the lobby area. We have a receiving area there now.
Yeah, and
then
and
we'll
quite honestly,
deliver.
that wouldn't be fair. You know,
Right.
if the cottage residents got a chance to have their loved ones come and deliver to them, and they get to
Exactly.
see them, and the apartment residents
apartment
don't,
resident can't.
That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
fair, and we're not going to condone
Right.
that. So we're going to ask you, you know, until we're at a point where we can say family members and then visitors at some point as well, you know, we're saying no at this
Yep.
point. So
Yep.
they can still drop off stuff, but it's going to come to the main building lobby, and then we'll get it to you from there.
That's right. This next one's a good one. Can I go to the clubhouse just for a drink?
Well, I would like to do that myself.
We might want to go right after
I
this.
could use a really good one right now, that's for sure.
So during this part of our dining phased in plan, we are not having that. I think you all know bars are under different restrictions right now too. So we're not using our bar as a bar right now. It's going to be more of a dine-in area.
Yeah.
But when you're up there dining, you can get a drink.
Yeah,
You can go out on the veranda after your meal or even before your reservation.
yeah,
Let's say your reservation's at 5 o'clock. Come at 4:30.
yeah.
Grab a drink, go sit out on the veranda, and we'll let you know when your reservation's
Come
ready.
at 2 o'clock, and, you know, you can sit out there. Oh, no, that doesn't work.
What?
Wait a minute. That's
I guess you could. I mean, as long as you have a reservation sometime that day,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know that we've got a hard, fast rule about that.
We
right?
really don't.
Okay.
So,
So-
but we will be serving drinks from the bar area, just not using it as an actual bar.
But this is one that I think that is not too far away from
Yeah,
being put into
absolutely.
place. We're just not
Yep.
going to start there
Yep.
yet, right?
With our capacity of numbers right now that we're allowed, it's all those things get factored in.
Well, and it's a good time of the year for people to be out on the veranda
Absolutely.
anyway. So, you know, I'm
That
hoping.
veranda is where I'd want to be. I mean, that to me looks beautiful.
Michelle?
So,
I got a battery issue up here. Can you help me with this, please?
okay. Okay, next one. Let's take a look here. How will I know if an item is gluten-free on the menu? So that is a good question. So there is a GF symbol that is next to the menu item that's gluten-free. So that way it kind of helps you out with that. But if you still want to ask your server just to make sure, because I understand when you're gluten-free, you also don't want to accidentally get something that has gluten in it. So please make sure you ask that, but we do note that on the menus. And I believe the menus are in your boxes,
Yeah.
and they're also up on CareMerge. So you can take a look at that so you can be ready for Monday. You can take a look at some of the great items, a lot of good selections, so very excited for that.
What's that, the gluten-free stuff?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yep. Will doctor appointments affect my ability to get housekeeping services?
Oh, that is a great question. Great question. And we're going to answer that one later.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. When will Dr. Wingate, the foot doctor, be able to return to the clinic? This has been a popular one.
Yes.
Everybody's been looking for the foot doctor.
The foot doctor. Now that they got their hair done, they want to get
Now
their feet
they
done.
want their feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it. That's the next, I mean, it's a natural progression.
It is. It is.
You know, head, hair, feet next.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Top to bottom.
Yeah.
So, June 16th, he will be coming back again.
June 16th. That's
Yes.
a Tuesday, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll want to follow up with the clinic if you need to get an appointment. Make sure you go through the clinic on that. But June 16th. Okay. I live outside and want to call in my lunch order for pickup in the bistro.
Right.
Because I live outside, I can only come from noon to 1 for my certain slotted time. But your pickup times aren't noon to 1. So
Right.
do I have to wait until my designated time to pick it up? The answer is no, because if you remember, the pickups from the bistro menu or the Water's Edge menu, it's all done out of the creamery. So you don't even go into the bistro for a pickup order. So if you call and order off the bistro menu and Water's Edge, the pickup is in the creamery. And there is set times for pickups. That's 11 to 11:30 at lunchtime and 1 to 1:30 at lunchtime. So just remember, you can come and pick those up, even though you are an outside resident. Those slotted times don't affect that because you're not going in the bistro.
Yeah, so a lot of times really are just for going.
Just for going in the bistro.
If you're going in to
Yes.
actually order in the bistro.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was a great question.
It is a good question.
Yep.
They're all good questions.
Yep. Starting on Monday, will there be a separate lunch and dinner menu? I like the idea of eating at an off time like 3:30, but I'm not sure what the menu looks like at 3:30. That's in between lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and that's mostly for the clubhouse, right? Because the Water's Edge is going to have the same menu. For
Right,
lunch
and
dinner.
So
it won't matter in the Water's
And the
Edge.
Water's Edge always did have the same menu for lunch and dinner.
That's
so
correct. And we haven't changed that menu.
we have not. So it's the same.
But there was a separate lunch and dinner menu for the clubhouse.
There was. But during this phase, it's a combination of a lunch and dinner menu that will be available all day. So there's no separate menu, so you don't even have to worry about that. It's the same menu.
Yeah.
If you come at 3:30 or if you come at 11.
Right.
Same menu.
And again, I think that's one of those things that's the way we're going to start.
Right.
You know, as we progress along, we
phase
might
in.
be able to get to a point at some point where we go back to that having a separate lunch versus dinner menu.
Right.
But for right now,
Right.
it's the same menu all the way through.
Yep. And we also do have specials in each of our venues as well. So not just the set menus, but specials every week, which is great. And I think the specials are also up on CareMerge right now, and they look amazing. I saw scallops in one of the venues next week.
I love scallops.
So I do too.
I mean, that's one of my favorite
I do
things
too,
to
but
eat.
we can't go in there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
But everybody else enjoy them for us because they look really good.
No, I don't really want them to enjoy it for us. You can say that, but I don't think I want that.
Oh. Okay, I think we have one more question.
There's been a lot of questions.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
I live outside and get my in-house mail at the clubhouse. When will I start checking my mail in the main building again? Great question.
Yeah.
That would be Monday, June 1st. Give us probably an hour in the morning. So when we get here, we're going to have to grab the mailboxes up at the clubhouse, bring them down here, unload them into your boxes here in the main building.
Right.
So I'd say by lunchtime, be checking your mail down.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe wait till after lunch.
Give us a little bit in the morning.
Yeah.
And we'll get it transitioned.
Yeah, I would suggest maybe you get in your mail this weekend.
Absolutely, because there's a lot of stuff in your boxes probably right now,
Right
too.
now, get your mail this weekend while you're up there collecting. This is for the outside folks, obviously, but get your mail while you're up there. That will help us then not have to transfer a whole lot of mail to your boxes
very true.
down here.
That'd be a huge help.
That would be great.
Yep. Okay. I know.
That's a lot of questions. I know.
Yep.
Well, we are about ready to bring on our first special guest.
Okay.
Yes, and we're very excited because this person has not been with us for the last couple months. You all might remember we were talking about a housekeeping employee who had emergency surgery and was out. And guess what? He is back at River Landing. He started back yesterday. And Joe Rojas, come on up. We're glad to have you back. Yay, Joe!
You hear the clapping in the audience? Go ahead, just switch it on there, and you'll be ready to go.
Joe, it's great to see you. And you know what I think I've missed most is your shirt and ties. I think that's what I've missed most.
Yeah, today's dress down day, right?
Today's dress down day, yeah.
I got it right.
Joe. Yeah, so you don't have your three-piece suit on today, right?
Right, so it's dress down. So
yeah,
I'm very, very happy and blessed to be here. And just a quick thank you to everybody that sent prayers and good wishes. And I heard from several residents, and they continuously said that they were keeping me in their prayers, and I really appreciate that. And the good Lord took care of me, and I'm back. So hopefully,
well, we're glad.
Good.
We're glad.
Joe, you had kind of an amazing experience in the hospital because, first of all, oh my gosh, you had this happen to you where you were having this procedure done, and then something happened apparently during the procedure.
Right. So it was a routine procedure. I had done it twice before.
Yeah.
2 months prior and then a month before, and I was going in for the final, and what they were doing is they were extending part of my upper intestine, and third time was not the charm, unfortunately. It developed an issue, so they had to send me to the hospital, and once I was in there, they said, you need to stay. So because of that, they ended up doing emergency surgery which I thought, okay, get in, get out, a few days, I'll be back.
Right.
And it ended up being that they no longer stitch you from the outside. They let it heal from within. So that meant they wanted 8 to 12 weeks of me being away, but 7.5 weeks was all I could tolerate. And so I convinced the surgeons to allow me to come back. And I am taking it easy. I have a great team. And because of that, I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
And Joe, we're really excited to have you back for a couple of reasons. One is, to me is, you're pretty much done your stint at friends' homes now. So you're back with us full time again. And quite honestly, we were very excited to have you back. Now, I will tell you, we got Denise here in the audience, and I'm going to say something about her a little bit later. But what a great job Denise did while you were fulfilling this role over at friends' homes. And so, she just did a spectacular job of running the department. And so we're very indebted to her for what she did.
I definitely agree. And I think because of the strength of Denise, they gave us the opportunity to help the other community as well.
Yeah, and in that time, we also promoted Christy up, right?
Yeah.
So Christy Ballard came in as a frontline staff, as a floor technician, and we quickly moved her up to a supervisor, and she's done a marvelous job as well.
And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but Christy was one of our EVS Dream Clean Team members.
Yes.
Right?
So we've had 4 staff members that volunteered after we twisted the arm a little bit to stay on property 24/7, and they've been doing that for 2.5 months.
Wow.
So that's quite a bit to this point.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is amazing. And it was neat because I remember back when we had Betty Hayes on here, and she was talking about,
Right.
I think her words were even it was a stroke of genius, I
Right,
think,
right.
for coming up with this concept, because none of our other sister communities had this concept about being able to do this. But none of our other communities, in my opinion, had dedicated people like this who were willing to give up so much to be able to come and do such a great job of taking care of the EVS needs of our residents. And so pretty cool. Pretty
Absolutely.
cool, Joe. Well, Joe, we're very excited about you being back. Your presence really is, it's a bolster to, I think, our community to have you back and with us. And it's been a long 8 weeks, Joe.
It has, and the love that we talk about here at River Landing and us being family, I see it every day, but these last 2 days, I started yesterday, and most of the residents that I came into contact with, 6 feet apart, of course, but just in passing, were all praying for me. We're all very happy to see me back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't you're back to work. It's, you're okay. You're feeling okay. Your health is good. That's where the well wishes were. And they all sang the praises of our team.
That's awesome.
They're saying you didn't have to worry. Denise had it. Your team is doing a wonderful job. And it's such a wonderful thing to hear that we have such a strong family that can take care of things. So.
And I think the second blessing, Joe, was, your wife, Marilee, she was very excited about you coming back yesterday.
Yeah, we'll do a no comment on that. She was very worried early on because of the way they had to do the wound care.
Sure.
And because in our day and age, they always stitched it up, and 2 weeks later, you're back.
Right.
And this was totally new to us, and they said it's a better way for the body to heal, which I believe them, but it just takes forever.
Well, Joe, again, we're so excited about you being back, and we've got our next surprise guest to be able to bring out here. And so with that, we're going to actually move out forward here because, Joe, I want you and Denise to be able to kind of introduce our EVS Dream Clean Team. So I'm going to move down here to kind of be out of the way. And why don't you all come up on stage? We're so happy.
Ladies, if you guys...
I know you don't want to come up stage. You weren't expecting this. So come on up on stage. Big hand for all these folks. Let me hear it out there. Big hand for all these folks. come on over here, Christy. Line up next to each other. Keep your little distance between you if you would, please. But wow, this is so great. It is so great to have you all here. So, and you all look like you're happy, even though you spent the last 2 months here. I mean, this is amazing. So it hasn't been too bad, Christy said. All right. So what's it been like to stay in the guest quarters and the staycation? Has it been okay? Yeah? Okay. Have Denise and Joe done a good job of keeping you filled with snacks and drinks? They're taking good care of you. Okay. All right. Well, Denise, why don't you introduce our folks for us?
Come for a little bit.
And I think we need to give Denise a hand because she's done such a great job during this.
Right here we have Jackie Van. She's been with us less than a year.
Hey, Jackie.
And she volunteered her time. Y'all all know Cynthia.
I think about everybody in the world knows Cynthia.
Cynthia's been with River Landing forever. 10 years.
10 years. She just said 10 years.
All right. Then we have Christy. I have a story about this young lady.
Yeah,
right
we'll
here.
get back to you in a second.
Then we have Christy that's been with us for a year and a half.
Wow.
2 years in
2 years in
October.
October.
Yes.
Time
All right.
flies.
So here we have Adrina.
Angelina.
She started with us exactly a week before all this started.
Wow.
Joe came to us and asked if we had any volunteers on a Monday. She said, yes, I'll volunteer. They was off that Tuesday. They came in that Wednesday, and she's been here ever since. She was only here for 1 week.
That's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
So let's give her a hand. I mean, the rest of y'all too, but it's just something about this young lady.
Wow.
But this is our Dream Clean team.
Yay! Now, the good news is you only have to do this 2 more months, okay? So just 2 more months. Oh, no, wait a minute. Actually, we have a little something we want to give to each of you. It's a little certificate of appreciation for the 2 full months that you all have been doing this. And Lisa's going to hand those out to each of you. And along with the certificate that we have a little note in there, and that's just a little appreciation from a monetary standpoint.
You're welcome.
That we wanted to say thank you for committing really the last 2 months of your life. You all have not been off campus. You have not been able to see family. You have not been able to go into any grocery stores and, even get takeout food, right? So, I mean, it just awes me to think about the fact that you all have committed all this. And so, like I said, we got a little certificate of appreciation for you, and we've got something which I think you may have already noticed that went into your paycheck that you all were worried about. So
You had a little surprise.
we had a little surprise, and we knew you would figure it out, but that's okay. But we wanted to share that with you. And so we want to tell you some good news. You all get to go home this weekend. You're done. So, wow, 2 great months. Thank you so much. And we wanted to make sure you all knew how much we appreciate you. And so we wanted to surprise you by telling you you're done. You can go home and know that you've done a job well done. And really, as part of our mission here, you all were the epitome of our mission at work here about serving our residents. And so thank you so much. So
Yes.
go ahead, you all can go ahead.
Yep.
I know you're not feeling comfortable. Go ahead and leave. You can go ahead and leave, and we appreciate you all very much. Some of you, Cynthia figured it out already. She's already packed at this point. So, or maybe you've been packed since day one. I don't know.
She never unpacked.
She never unpacked. So she's got it all figured out.
Awesome.
She's got everything all packed and ready to roll. So
Thank you and
thank you all
congratulations.
very, very
Yes.
much. Yay!
Thank you
Wow.
guys. Really appreciate everything that
Woo.
you've done. Okay?
Okay, well, as you're leaving, we'll tell you this. This is the surprise for the residents. We're not going to need you anymore because as of Monday, we're going back to full housekeeping in the apartments and cottages.
Yes.
So you'll be able to go back at that point and be able to go back to your normal jobs. And so that is awesome. That's going to be really great news. I know our residents are probably very pleased about that.
Yes.
Lisa, there's a couple things I think that we need to talk about
There
in regards to
is.
that.
Yep. So let me get my notes here.
Not a lot, though.
There isn't. And we have a letter that will be in the boxes tonight and also on Care Merge. So you can check that out for all the details. But for those of you out in TV.
Is that your housekeeping?
That's the rest of our EVS team. So
The whole EVS team is out in front of the
And
corner.
was-
I hope it's not 25 people out there. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty neat.
For TV Land, right outside the door is the EVS Dream Team left, was their other teammates, cheering them on and congratulating them. They get to go home, so very exciting.
I think I'm going to be emotional. That was really cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool. I hope somebody got a picture of that. Okay. So with that, starting on Monday, we'll go back to the normal housekeeping schedules. So you all had, before the pandemic started, you all had a day of the week and a time that you would have cleaning services. So we'll resume that on Monday, starting Monday. Everybody's back on schedule. If you don't remember what your day and time was, or maybe you're still not comfortable having the housekeeping services, or you're not feeling well, that would be the reasons that we wouldn't want to come into your home at this point. That'd be the only reason. So, but give us a call if you need a reminder of your day and time, or if you're not comfortable yet, and we would understand that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this comes back to that question about, if I have a doctor appointment, up until now, that knocked you out of housekeeping.
It did.
Right?
That's right.
You could not have that available to you for the 2 weeks.
That's right.
Now the doctor appointments are acceptable. That's
Right.
part of this phase.
That's right.
Where that's an acceptable appointment and an acceptable reason to leave the community.
That's right.
That does not knock you out of the service now. You
Right.
would be able to have housekeeping.
Right.
So I'm sure there's a lot of cheers out there for that too.
I'm sure, too.
Because I know that was hard for a lot of you. So we get that. And our
Please
team-
don't be in your home when
Correct.
when they come
So
into
that's the
service.
exception to this.
Yeah.
Right now, during this phase, even though the teams are coming back into your homes, we are saying that you need to leave your home like you've been doing with the Dream Team, the
Right.
clean team that we've had.
For now.
We're still going to have you do that, where you leave your home during your cleaning time, leave a note on the counter if you have special instructions, or if it's more in depth than what you can leave a note, you can always call Denise. There's a number that's on this form that you can call and give special instructions, and then the team will know what they need to do when they're in there. But they're going to be doing their regular cleaning now, so it's not just the 15-minute clean.
No, that's right.
This is your true cleaning that they'll be doing going forward. But any special instructions, leave it on the counter. If you live out in your outside homes, you have patios, porches, places you can go during the cleaning, and that's a great spot. Inside the apartments, you may not have a patio. Come to the library, come to a living room. Just come somewhere so your home is free.
Right.
And the reason is just to limit that exposure, a face-to-face exposure. It's just
Absolutely.
another way to do that. So another protection.
It's protection.
Yep, during this phase.
We have said this is everything we're trying to do is calculated at this
That's
point.
right.
And we're
That's
just
right.
trying to keep you safe, keep our housekeeping team and our staff safe, and
Right.
Again, whatever we can do to still bring back some of the amenities that you all like, but still try and keep it safe here. We're going to keep trying to do.
Right.
So
So that's still in place.
okay,
I think
that
that's
was
it.
really emotional. I'm still getting over that. I think that was, I
pretty
just can't
amazing.
get over our dream team.
Yeah.
That 2 solid months.
I know.
I mean, you all know this. When this first started, I spent about 2.5 weeks
You did.
here, and I know what it was like to be here for 2.5 weeks and not really go off campus. And it's hard,
Right.
and you all know that better than anybody because you haven't been doing that either. But for them not to be able to go home and see, husbands or
Right. A couple of them had husbands, so yes, I mean, they gave that up. Maybe they wanted to. I don't know.
Maybe that's
I don't
good for their
know.
relationship.
Maybe it was a good thing.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but some had pets.
I know it
They
was good
had
for
to.
mine for the 2.5 weeks I was gone. So, but
And they never exercised their car. I mean, they didn't even get to leave for the reasons that we allowed here.
that's true.
They didn't get to go through drive-throughs. They didn't get to go exercise their car. They truly did not leave the campus.
Yeah,
So that's pretty amazing.
it is amazing.
The dedication, amazing.
Okay, are we doing
Okay,
birthdays?
we're
We got a
gonna-
lot of birthdays, right?
We do. So happy birthday today to Jenny Rice, Sam Rickard, and Joe White.
Wow.
Yes.
Happy birthday to all three of you.
And since we will not be here Saturday and Sunday,
Okay.
Saturday we have two Millers. This is interesting.
Oh,
Beth Miller and Sharon Miller.
oh, that's interesting. How about
So
that?
very cool. And then Sunday we have Ben Russell, Gail Gasson, and Barbara Harris.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
Some good
Great
residents
birthdays.
there. So happy birthday
Yes.
to all of you. That's fantastic.
Okay.
So now I'm really curious, Lisa.
Me too. Let's
Did we
see
end
who
up
the
having
winner
a
is.
winner or two?
We do have two winners, and
Ah.
it looks like they all had help from their spouses.
Oh,
So it's two couples here.
Okay.
Okay. So the question first is,
yes. What was the
what
question?
state were
Right.
you and I born and raised in?
Right.
And the answer is, for you, Tom,
It was Maryland.
Maryland, and for me, it was Wisconsin.
Yes.
So let's see. The winners, Elaine Hart, with help from her husband, Earl.
Right.
So that's nice. And then Rhodey Gibbs with help from his wife, Nancy.
Ah, very good.
So
Yeah.
super. Two winners today. That's awesome.
So they get a special dinner with each of us. Was the prize? Was that?
We could get our scallops that way. We need to offer that as a prize next week.
Oh my gosh, nobody will call up and want that.
You get your prizes taking us to dinner.
I just want to go up to the
I like
patio of the
this.
clubhouse is all I want to do. So, okay,
Oh, okay.
that's awesome.
Yes.
So,
Typically, we announce what we're doing next week. It's been a really busy week, so I have to admit I don't really have an agenda for next week
it's a
yet.
mystery week next
It's
week.
a mystery week.
So we'll
You can
see how it
plan
goes.
on, there's something at 3 o'clock every day, and we will be on next week.
Yeah, we will. And
Some of the
probably be on
days.
Monday, Wednesday,
So,
Friday next week.
Probably, yes.
Doing our show.
Yep.
And I'm sure we'll have Ken.
We'll probably, yes.
I mean, I'm sure Ken will be one of the days. And
We'll probably have lots of questions next week. Next week's kind of a big week for
It is.
housekeeping, dining, so we'll probably be fielding a lot of questions.
yeah.
So-
And so we've talked also about, and I don't know if I'm talking out loud right
Yeah.
now or thinking out loud, but we've talked about trying to cycle through some of the other management services office employees. Maybe we
Yes.
get one of them to come visit
Sure.
us next week. We've talked
That'd be-
about having. I mentioned Hank Lovern today. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we can get Hank to come and be on the show next week, or we talked about a couple
That'd be
other
great.
people too.
Yes.
So I
Yep.
think that would be good.
That'd be good. Okay. Since this person submitted one of the best jokes,
Yes.
I think.
You
I read
love
it. I
this joke.
love this joke.
Lisa loves this story.
And this person has a birthday today.
Yeah. It's
So
Jenny
how
Rice.
fitting.
Yeah, Jenny, thank you.
Yes.
So this is called Psychiatrist versus Bartender. Ever since I was a child, I've always had a fear of someone under my bed at night. Boy, I've had that fear.
That's a fear.
Yeah. So I went to a shrink and told him, I've got problems. Every time I go to bed, I think there's somebody under it. I'm scared and I think I'm going crazy. Just put yourself in my hands for 1 year, said the shrink. Come in and talk to me 3 times a week, and we should be able to get rid of those fears. How much do you charge? $80 per visit, replied the doctor. I'll sleep on it, said the person with the fears. 6 months later, the doctor met me on the street. Why didn't you come to see me about those fears you were having, he asked. Well, I said, $80 a visit, 3 times a week for a year is $12,480. A bartender cured me for $10. I was so happy to have saved all that money that I went and bought me a new pickup truck. A new pickup truck. Is that so? With a bit of an attitude, he said. And how, may I ask, did a bartender cure you? Well, he told me to cut the legs off the bed. Ain't nobody under there now.
I love that one.
So forget the shrinks, have a drink, and talk to a bartender. It's always better to get a second opinion anyway.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one to
That's
end
a good
on.
one.
You're right.
Yes.
Jenny, thank you. That was awesome. That
Yes.
was really a great one.
Yep.
So, all right, Lisa, another week
Yes.
in the record books.
Yep.
Yes. I know Michelle was loading up, and I know you all love going back and watching old reruns of As the River Churns. So April is now on our YouTube, in our YouTube channel, and May will be up this weekend, all of the May. So Michelle's getting caught up this
Yep.
weekend. So if you have your favorites that you want to go back and watch, or you just sit there and laugh at us the whole time for one reason or another,
Sure.
you have plenty of opportunity to do that now.
Absolutely.
So, and they have a date. They're all by date.
Yep.
So you can go back and look at them. And we've had some really good ones. You know,
We
really
have.
had some
And
good
then we've had
shows.
some,
Yeah, well, yeah, like that one that we had where we both were off. Remember
Oh,
we tried
boy.
to end the show like way early.
midway through.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
Marisa though. That was a funny one.
She threw us
but-
off.
Yeah, she did.
Yep,
That was
that's what it was.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we want you to have a great weekend, and I think from what I could see from the weather forecast, a little bit of chance of rain here or there, but for the most part, looks like it was going to be sunny. I think it's supposed to
Be
be
nice.
nice. Like by Sunday, I think Sunday, Monday, it's like more like 70s, low 70s. It's going to be perfect, right?
That's perfect.
So hope you all have a great weekend. Please stay safe. Please wear your mask. Please wash your hands. And please stay 6 feet away from each other, okay? With that in mind, we love you. We'll see you on Monday. God bless.